Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. And actually, I mean that literally. I've been away the past several days. I've been at my son's place out in Pennsylvania. It was a little vacation, just a little getaway, spend a little time with my son and his girlfriend at his house. I like to go to a few of the flea markets there, so I did that. And just, a nice, relaxing visit. All of us have to do that once in a while. So I got home and just wanted to make sure that, the Hoard was still intact, that nobody, messed with it or anything. Everything looks good. I don't see any problems. We really haven't been getting much rain here in the Hudson Valley, so things are a bit dry, but other than that, everything else worked out beautifully. When I go to Pennsylvania, there are two flea markets that I like to go to, and then there's there's a place local to my son's, where the guy used to do recycling. It looks like he used to do estate clean-outs. People would drop off cars there that it looks like he would sell parts off of and recycle them. Lawnmowers, tractors, junk like that. Anyway, he closed his place up. I mean, he had quite a hoard of junk there, but he just gone, and it's a shame because I used to really enjoy going there. I used to find a lot of interesting stuff. He, you never knew what he had from one day, 1 week to the next. People would drop off like their old pool filter pumps. So, and there was like a hoard of them sitting there. Once in a while, he would scrap them out, but frequently people would come by for spare parts. I mean, junk like that. Anyway, he closed up, so that's one place I didn't get to go to. I'm going to talk about, let's see, this flea market first. This is where I got the few items I'm going to talk about today. And I really didn't buy a lot there. We were kind of in a hurry. There was a cider festival going on at the winery cider mill my son works at. So we kind of jetted through this one quickly. But it's known as Morningstar Marketplace. You can see it's in Thompsonville, PA. There's the address if anybody's ever in that area. It's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's the phone number. So that's one flea market. And while I was there, a woman had this Allen set, and she wanted $10 for it. I gave her $8. And Allen, I mean, used to make really, really nice stuff. So I looked it over. It obviously says Allen, and the fit and finish was really pretty good. Doesn't say anything about China or Japan. Seems well made, nice thick head, so the gears inside are thick, the dogs and all. And each piece, they're all the same. No, doesn't say anything about China on them. So I bought the set with the idea that it probably wasn't made in China, but unfortunately, that's a spare socket, by the way. It's a China socket. What I should do is just throw it away, but so anyhow, I normally like 6-point, and it does have 6-point up to a half, and it has 6-point up to 8. The 10, unfortunately, is 12-point. But once again, it seems well made. It also has this thing And you guys know I like that. It's got the adapter so that you can turn the 3/8 to a quarter. Anyway, it has everything, every piece, nothing missing, even has a spare China socket. So I looked it over real good, and she wanted 10, and as I was spending so much time looking it over, she says, would you take it for 8? And I said, yeah, I'll take it for 8. But I didn't read the small print in the back, right? Made in China. So, another really good American tool making company is gone. This is one of those crank up flashlights. It was I don't know if I haven't cranked it lately. Oh, but so you turn the crank, and depending on where you put the switch, you can light up one light or all 3 of them. It was 25 cents. I couldn't pass that up. Right. It supposedly has a radio, though the radio does not appear to work. But it's one of those scanning radios, and I don't see an antenna here. So it might just be AM. There's the volume for the radio. And lastly, and I always pick these up whenever I see them cheap. They were 50 cents each. So baking, but these are really good for sorting sockets. They're actually in really nice shape. So before I destroy them, I might see if they should actually move to the kitchen. But so this was $1 for the 2 of them, and 50 cents here, and $8 here. So I spent less than $10 at that particular market, and I'm happy I didn't bring home a bunch of extra junk. While I was at my son's the last time in the early spring, this is a motor to one of the sprayers at the at his place, and it's got listen to this great compression, right? So it's probably just bloody worn out. It's a 1989 vintage, which means for the last, 27 years? No, 20 years would take it up to, 20 years to get it. Yeah, so for the last 27 years, this thing has been spraying the vineyard, so it's probably just bloody worn out. But it is complete, and the gas tank isn't rusty, and it's got a whole muffler on there you guys can see. So I'm probably gonna pull the head off. We'll take a look inside, see if it's shot. On a lot of these, you can replace the rings fairly cheap. The only thing is, it's you could buy a 3 horsepower Predator engine. As a matter of fact, this is the engine we threw on there. That's the Predator we replaced it with. This was $100 on sale. They used it for this season, and they've had no problem with it. It was all good, so it worked. I don't know how many seasons it'll last for, but it worked this season. And lastly, I've showed you these blue things. These are the dead ones, the ones that they can't return for deposit. See how they're all tethered and worn out, and a barrel. The barrels are handy. I have a couple of them now. I mean, worst comes to worst, if you need a scaffold, you just flip them over and stand on them, or they're actually both pretty clean inside. Not that I would put the water directly into them, but I wouldn't be afraid to put like a plastic tarp in them and then water into that. So a couple of barrels and some of those blue plastic things. I think you've seen that, or some of you may have noticed with those that I use them to cover like the tractor. They seem to be just the perfect size. Like here they're covering the Murray up. Right, it's a perfect size. It covers the seat, the steering wheel, the dashboard, you know, most of the vents. So it keeps the rain off of it. Yeah, they're really handy for that. The only bad thing is, well, actually you can see all the circles from the cans here, I think. But the bad thing is if you use them on the ground, and originally what I got them for is I wanted to use them as kind of a vapor barrier between the whatever I had on the ground and the ground. But if they get any rain on them at all, or any mud or any of that type of stuff, they are slippery. I mean, like, you know, ice, wet ice slippery, black ice slippery. So you'll step on it and then you'll go to move the tractor or go to turn, and the next thing you're falling with no hopes of catching yourself because both feet are out from underneath you. So that they're no good for. But for covering things they're perfect, because obviously I'm not going to walk on that Murray tractor, right? Alright folks, so I hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be let's see, 3 of them. There'll be this one. Then while I was out in Pennsylvania, actually before I went out, one of the reasons why I went out is my son's Lakota wouldn't start, so I got that thing running, and we took a ride around the property with it. And then the last one is a much bigger flea market, and I'll show you the videos of that. Okay folks, anyway, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. I want to thank you all for playing the contest. I want to thank you for all the kind comments, well wishes, support, and I just want to leave the following words of advice. Folks, remember to get out there and enjoy all your days. Make sure you have plenty of fun. Take care now, folks. Bye.